Let's get right into it. Number 10, nail biting confessions. Ah, yes, the universal sign of nerves, chewing your own fingers like they're a late night snack. Nail biting, or onychophagia if you want the fancy Latin name that makes it sound like a Harry Potter curse, is one of the most common anxiety driven habits. When you're stressed, your brain doesn't hand you a calm yoga mat. It gives you the urge to gnaw on keratin until your hands look like you fought a paper shredder. Psychologists say nail biting is a self-soothing behavior, a way for your nervous system to dump all that restless energy somewhere. It's basically your body's fidget spinner, except instead of spinning harmless plastic, you're slowly auditioning for Zombie Hands the musical. Studies even show that chronic nail biters tend to score higher on traits like perfectionism and emotional regulation issues. Translation, you're not just bored, you're wrestling with anxiety, and your fingernails are losing the fight. The irony, nail biting often makes you feel more anxious because now you're stressed and embarrassed about your mangled hands. So yeah, next time someone catches you gnawing away, remember, you're not gross, you're just broadcasting your inner panic in high definition right on your fingertips. Number 9, jaw clenching Olympics. Ever catch yourself grinding your teeth like you're trying to turn them into powder? Welcome to the Jaw Clenching Olympics, sponsored by stress. Bruxism, as dentists love to call it, is one of the sneakiest signs of hidden anxiety. You might think you're calm, but your jaw is basically auditioning for a role as a hydraulic press. Some people clench during the day when deadlines creep up. Others do it in their sleep, waking up with a sore jaw, headaches, or the vague feeling they just spent the night fighting invisible ghosts. Science says jaw clenching happens when the fight or flight system refuses to clock out. Your body's convinced danger is near, so it tenses up as if chewing your molars into dust will somehow save you. Long term, this habit can wreck your teeth, trigger migraines, and give you the neck tension of a professional statue. And here's the kicker, the more anxious you are about the clenching, the worse it gets. It's a vicious cycle of stress, arrow, jaw tension, arrow, pain, arrow, more stress. Basically, your anxiety has turned your mouth into a stress factory, and your dentist is the only one cashing in. Number 8, hair twirling rituals. If you've ever sat through a meeting wrapping strands of your hair around your finger like it's a fidget toy, congratulations. You're performing one of anxiety's favorite party tricks. Hair twirling or pulling, also known as trichotillomania when it gets extreme, is the body's way of channeling nervous energy into something repetitive and weirdly comforting. For some people, it's a casual habit, just a twist here and there when bored or stressed. For others, it escalates into serious pulling that can cause bowel patches. And of course, anxiety is often lurking behind the scenes, directing the show. Psychologists believe repetitive habits like hair twirling activate reward circuits in the brain, giving you a temporary off feeling while completely ignoring the long-term consequences. Translation, your body treats your hair like bubble wrap, fun to mess with now, regret later. The kicker? Most people don't even notice they're doing it until someone points it out, which leads to, you guessed it, more anxiety. So, yeah, next time you're twisting your locks like you're winding up spaghetti, know this. You're not quirky, you're just letting your nerves braid themselves into your hairstyle. Number 7, foot jiggling frenzy. You've seen it, maybe you are it. That constant up and down bounce of the leg, like you're trying to secretly audition for Riverdance under the table. Foot jiggling, leg bouncing, knee tapping, whatever you want to call it, is basically anxiety's drum solo. Psychologists file it under stereotypic movement, which is science speak for your body is restless and bored, but mostly restless. When your anxiety spikes, adrenaline builds up in your muscles like static electricity, and your body needs an outlet. So your leg takes one for the team and turns into a human metronome. Here's the kicker, people around you notice. They'll think you're impatient, irritated, or plotting an escape route. In reality, your nervous system is just doing squats without your permission. Research even links leg bouncing to stress regulation. It helps burn off excess nervous energy, almost like a self-made pressure release valve. But long term, constant jiggling can leave your joints sore, your co-workers annoyed, and your personality tagged as the human jackhammer. Basically, your feet are stress DJs, dropping anxious beats no one asked for. Number 6, skin picking secrets. If you've ever sat there absent-mindedly scratching, peeling, or picking at your skin until you look like you lost a battle with sandpaper, congrats, your anxiety has found a new hobby. This behavior, known as dermatillomania in its extreme form, often pops up when you're stressed, overwhelmed, or just plain restless. Your body gets overloaded with tension, so your hands decide to go rogue and pick at your arms, face, or cuticles. It gives a weird, temporary sense of relief, kind of like scratching an itch that wasn't actually there. Psychologists call it a body-focused, repetitive behavior. Translation: it's your anxiety disguised as skincare, except it leaves scars instead of glowing skin. People who do this often don't even realize they're doing it, which makes it even harder to stop. And the cruel part? The more stressed you feel about the habit itself, the more likely you are to keep doing it. It's like anxiety hands you both the problem and the punishment. Basically, your nervous system is playing whack-a-mole with your own skin, and spoiler, your skin always loses. Number 5. Over-apologizing. Sorry. Sorry again. Sorry for saying sorry. If this sounds familiar, welcome to the Anxiety Olympics, where every event ends with an apology medal. Over-apologizing is one of the clearest signs of hidden anxiety. People who do this aren't just polite, they're constantly afraid of upsetting others, making mistakes, or being judged. Saying sorry becomes a reflex, a shield against rejection. Psychologists call it an appeasement strategy. Your brain thinks if you constantly smooth things over, no one will attack you. The irony? It often backfires, making you seem insecure or less confident. Imagine spilling a drop of water and apologizing like you just sank the Titanic. That's anxious over-apologizing in action. Deep down, it's tied to people-pleasing tendencies and fear of conflict. You want to keep the peace at all costs, even if it means apologizing for existing. Here's the punchline. Saying sorry too much doesn't make people like you more. It just makes them wonder if you secretly robbed a bank and feel guilty about it. Basically, if sorry is your favorite word, your anxiety is the puppeteer, and your mouth is the marionette. Number 4. Constant throat clearing. You know that person who sounds like they're always about to deliver a dramatic speech, but then nothing? Yep, that relentless throat clearing is often anxiety in disguise. Sure, sometimes it's allergies or a cold, but for many anxious folks, it's a nervous tic. When anxiety kicks in, your body goes into fight or flight mode, tightening muscles and drying out your throat as if you're about to give a TED talk on how to ruin small talk in 3 coughs. So you clear your throat. Again and again. Psychologists call this a self-soothing mechanism. You're subconsciously trying to release tension. The problem is, it just makes people stare at you like you're about to cough up a confession. The more you notice yourself doing it, the more anxious you feel, and boom, you're trapped in an endless loop of awkward throat solos. It's basically anxiety's way of giving you a nervous catchphrase, except instead of witty, it just sounds like you swallowed a frog. Number 3. Checking the time obsessively. You glance at the clock. 2 minutes later, you check again, then again. Spoiler, time didn't magically skip forward just because you begged it to. Constantly checking the time is one of those sneaky anxiety tells that makes you look impatient. But what's really happening is your brain's war on uncertainty. People with hidden anxiety often fear losing control or being unprepared, so they cling to clocks, phones, or watches like lifelines. Psychologists call this safety-seeking behavior. Translation: you're not obsessed with punctuality, you're terrified of being late, missing something, or letting someone down. The irony? The more you obsess over the time, the slower it feels like it's passing, which only ramps up the anxiety. It's like your brain is trolling you with its own version of time dilation. Basically, every time you flick your eyes at the clock, you're not just reading the hour, you're announcing to the world, yes, my anxiety is alive and thriving, thank you very much. Number 2. Touching your face. Constantly. Ever notice your hand creeping up to rub your forehead, play with your lips, or massage your temples whenever you're stressed? That's not just random fidgeting, that's anxiety using your face like a stress ball. Face touching is one of the most common nervous habits. It might look harmless, but it's your body's sneaky way of trying to self-soothe. Psychologists say these repetitive touches activate calming nerves, giving your brain the illusion of control. Translation: it's your DIY stress relief kit, except instead of lavender oil and yoga, it's smudged makeup and breakouts. And if you're constantly covering your mouth when you talk, that can signal insecurity or fear of saying the wrong thing. Classic anxiety fuel. The worst part? Face touching doesn't just give away your anxiety, it's also a germ magnet. Congratulations, your stress habit comes with a free subscription to Why Am I Always Sick magazine. Basically, if your face is your personal fidget toy, your anxiety is the one playing with it. Number 1. Overthinking body language. You're sitting in a chair. Simple, right? Nope. Because now you're wondering, are my arms too crossed? Do I look closed off? Should I put them on the table? Oh no, now I look like I'm about to interrogate someone. Maybe I should lean back? No, wait, too casual, congratulations. You've just unlocked the final boss of hidden anxiety, overthinking every micro movement your body makes. People who constantly second guess their posture, their hand placement, or even how often they blink are usually dealing with social anxiety. Your brain is running an internal surveillance system, screaming, don't look weird, don't look awkward, blend in, be normal. Except the harder you try, the more robotic you look, like a malfunctioning mannequin pretending to be human. Psychologists call this self-monitoring, and in small doses, it's fine. But when anxiety takes over, it turns into a full-time job of managing how others perceive you. The irony? While you're busy worrying if your smile looks creepy, most people are too distracted by their own anxious body habits to notice yours. Basically, your body has become a stage, your brain is the overbearing director, and the play is called How to Look Normal While Failing Spectacularly. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.